guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm actually hyped about this one. I'm going to be bringing you not only an Artmage deck profile, shout out to the Artmage boys by the way. I'm going to bring you what is basically like an Artmage insight introduction. I'm going to give you all the knowledge I've been gathering for fucking weeks. I've been into hyperbolic time chamber, literally studying this deck, the ins and out, to see what basically I could cook up along with the Artmage boys, because I know a lot of people have like tips and tricks basically of how you should the deck be playing. You know, this is a small segue. It's funny to me that the OCG players haven't been, but I guess it's because the fucking format over there is kind of toxic. But it's crazy to me that they haven't even tinkered with this deck, or for the most part, I haven't seen much. I think maybe the Dragotail engine, but that's enough to the point that Artmage has very particular, and I think a lot of people are gonna agree with me in this. It's almost like branded, where you can't actually mix it with cards that aren't from the same line, and I think that's why this deck is suffering from a lot of how do I say, power creep. Because until the new cards arrive, this deck is decent at best. Sorry for the guys that are actually trying to pick this deck up. I'm not trying to fucking sell you lies, by the way. I'm just telling you how it is. This deck is not Mitsuri Orcas. This deck is not Malice. This deck is fun, and to me, that's one of the biggest reasons I picked up this deck, because I am originally come from the White Forest group and player-esque, and to me, having a deck that could be played highly in a competitive level, but still have the fun element to it. Like, I don't want to play the mirror matches every single deck, and I think that's why a lot of people are trying to pick this deck up. They want to play something new. They want to play something that not everybody necessarily has a copy paste deck list of the same deck. Like, you're actually not going to see an Artmage player have the same deck list, which is good. But today I'm here going to bring you the insight of what cards are good, and in my opinion, what are the numbers that you should be running, or what are optimal, what is not so optimal. Bruh, like I said, literally in the hyperbolic time chamber for weeks. So it's trying to fucking bring out the sauce to the boys. Okay, I'm gonna start off with videos. I'm gonna say what every card does for the fact, for the people who are trying to pick this deck up. Let me remove the glare for a bit. Okay, so we got Medius the Pure. So this is basically the albas of the deck. Which, by the way, guys, after this deck profile, I'm going to basically turn on the cam and give you basically all the deck lists that I've cooked up over the weeks, so I can give you the insight which one's the best. To me, the one I'm playing is the best. That's why I have it built. There's second competitors, in my opinion, which is Fiendsmith, for the time being. And when I mean like for the time being, you can play with a lot of different decks. But I guess if you want to play this deck competitively as possible, you have to like try to play with like broken cards, 20-25 cards basically. So yeah, we have Medius the Pure, which is basically the I want to say Fallen Albas, but I actually compare it more to Oliver. Oliver is like the culprit who searches branded fusion. So Medius the Pure is actually the same thing. But you can say this is like the main face of what the archetype is going to be. So this is going to be like an archetype that is going to be up and coming in the future sets. And actually, in the next Yu-Gi-Oh set, I don't think, I'm not sure if they released all the cards, like all the they completed the set, but there haven't been any Artmage cards. So if they actually give this deck support, which by the way, this deck only needs like 2 to 3 fusions. That's a lot. Maybe 1 to 2 fusions in the extra deck that actually do something else, along with the one we have with Medius. Well, maybe an Artmage fusion does not require Medius, and along with Maniac monsters. Otherwise, this deck has literally all the tools it needs, and that's why I think this deck is good. But the problem is, and I think a lot of the Artmage players that do have some experience with the deck is going to tell you the biggest strength of this deck is its biggest weakness, which is Acropolis locking you out of special summoning in general. and special summoning Artmage monsters from the extra deck, right? So it's like a big detriment to doing what they do in 2025 Yu-Gi-Oh, which is combining engines. So we'll be able to combine them with probably ancient engines in the future, right? So this meta use the Puerto. If you guys don't know what it does, you normal summon it and get Power Patron, which you only have one in existence right now, which is we have one in the main deck existence, which is Power Patron Artmage, right? We're playing Artmage, right? So this guy, what he does is he essentially quick fusions. So he kind of acts like a Ray in some way or form, because his effect is a quick effect. And listen, I have no idea how people at the start started to say like you only need one of this. This is like the card that gives you follow up and gives you a semblance of startup, because if you're playing multiple copies of the Artmage engine and you do open this is a card you want to open, because this essentially sheets out the rest of the deck. And the reason why I say that is because most of the cards do search out Medius, but not all the engine helps you resolve your cards as much as this one, because its quick effect is like super important. And only that, you want to keep multiple copies of your deck so you can actually fusion summon into your cards. So it's either 2 or 3, not 1. It's either 2 or 3, and I've been people saying it's 1 or 3. I could agree if you're playing like some like a Fiendsmith engine that's like fully packaged and you only want to use like these cards. It's a side engine, but Artmage shines kind of like Branded, where every single card in the deck bridges in almost every single card in the deck bridges into each other. So like that's the strength of the deck. Like, why would you want to hurt the strength of the deck? It's like playing 2 copies of Aliber, 1 copy of Branded with all these. Yes. Shit. What's a quick play for Branded? I'm trying to think of the name. But anyways, it's like when Branded was full power, every single card almost guaranteed you Branded fusion, but that doesn't mean you're gonna run them at a low amount of copies. The only one I'm doing at a low amount of copies is Medius, because this deck really has a lot of cards to search Medius, especially like Theo Realize, which I don't run. I'm running the Fiendsmith version, but I'll give you guys that sauce later. But apart from those numbers, we're running 1 of each, and I'm gonna tell you something. You do not need one more copy of each single card of these. The reason being is because what makes these cards broken is their special summoning. Their special summoning from hand, or like their special summon condition, basically. But if you run multiple copies of this, you basically defeat the purpose of the deck, because there's no other way these cards have any utility other than special summoning them when you're resolving the field spell card. The only card that I would say I would run more than one copy, and it kind of has like the same reasoning as the Medius is, or not the reason as the Power Patron. I mean, is Glare Field, because he's the only card that helps you play against Drool and against the Mole Charmies, because you can only just special summon him, set the trap for example, and then you can just pass your turn, which you should be doing like in the pure version, because that way you have like 20 ways to play into the Artmage stuff. But even this one, which you can normal summon, bro, if you're gonna normal summon this one, you're gonna be normal summoning this one. By the way, like, you're gonna normal summon this and special summon this one. You don't need more copies of the normal summon. So yeah, I run that. Those are the monsters I'm running, and the spells that I'm running is triple field spell card. Again, one of the niche that this deck has, by the way, this is the main card of the deck, which is Artmage, Academic, Arcane, Arts, Acropolis. By the way, if you guys didn't know this, that's 5A. It's not triple A like a Call Us Anonymous. I guess the fucking Artmage boys are a more serious problem than we thought when they opened that fucking portal. Dude, I'm kind of hyped about what's gonna be being released on the next set. So we'll see. Let's see if it actually plays with the Artmage stuff too. We don't know. We just know that the Power Patron is basically going to be the bridge of the deck. Because I think lore wise, the portal brings out the Power Patrons. Basically, that's a little bit of a lore. But what's broken about the field spell card is that, you know how some decks have a little bit of a contingency about running multiple field spell cards because you draw them they're once per turn. But Acropolis has this thing where if you draw one copy of the field spell card, you can just discard the other one to turn it into an Artmage monster. And that's a very good thing because that means you can run like multiple copies of their own engine cards without being a detriment. So you're not actually bricking on these, and that's like the broken part. One cool about this is Alteration, by the way. This is the ultra card of the deck. And Alteration, what it does, it puts the field spell card into the board. So you put Acropolis into the board, and if you do have Acropolis into the board, you can add any Artmage card from your deck to your hand, right? So it's a little cute way to cheat out the spell cards out of your deck. Because what you do is that you end up summoning Glare. This is like a small combos if you guys don't know. When you do summon or when you do resolve the field spell card, I'm going to show you guys this right now because I guess this is like things you should know. The first one you search is Glare Flare because it's going to basically special summon itself and it's going to set the alteration, and you already have field spell card plus an Artmage monster, so you can go ahead and activate this one to search any other field other spell cards, which are these. I'll explain them in a sec. So let's say you search another copy of Alteration. Well, I have to use another one as an example. You search Vandalism, right? And you can discard Vandalism in this case to search another monster, right? And the reason why that's important is because you end up searching Latera. Not that this line is optimal, but I'm just showing you the example. And Latera can pick up the field spell card. So you essentially cheated out Latera for free, and you kept the field, the card you would have searched with Alteration, which is a really cool thing you can do, or what you should be doing basically. Right, and something I have to say about Acropolis is Acropolis locks you out of Artmage monster, so you can't even power patron Nerva out that monster, which is I don't know why they did that. They would have locked you out of Artmage monsters and power patron monsters for the rest of the turn, which maybe that's a little bit of text they have to add for what they're releasing, which is good because in part because that means that the cards they're going to be releasing are going to be really good in par with the power patron stuff. So yeah, then we run 3 Vandalism. Vandalism, by the way, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video. This is crazy. The deck I'm running right now, this is Azamina Artmage, and I guess this is kind of a perfect timing to say this because even though this card is broken, other decks don't use it at 3, they use it at 2 because this is the card that searches Medius, but this is like this is like Sanctuary for the Fire King monsters. It gives you protection for the field spell card, which to be honest, it's not the break. It's not like the craziest thing you could be doing, but in this build in particular, when you activate this continuous spell card and search Medius, you essentially fulfill the full requirements for resolving Diabellstar Black Witch without being a detriment to your play. So usually why Diabellstar cards or the Diabellstar engine is mid when splashing it into another engine is because you end up discarding like useful cards, but in this deck it does not happen like at all, right? So this card searches media and protects your field spell card. I'll talk about a little bit of the Azamina stuff later. And then we have the trap card, which is let's talk about this one first, which is Artmage Masterwork, which is basically a quick play fusion for any monster. It's like a poly, which is really good. Again, the problem is we're locked into Artmage monsters. We only have one, and this card isn't as crazy as it should be, but it's still good. You could run it at 2. I'm right now just running it at 1 because I just found out where you only resolve 1, and you only resolve 1 even in the grind game. If you're resolving multiple of these, you just lost the game, sadly. So you only use this to shuffle back your 3 Artmage monsters on the clapback, and you just play again. And again, if at that point your opponent breaks your board again, you're gonna lose. This isn't gonna save you. And at some point during the meta, the grind actually matters, and you play 2 of this card. But I'm only playing 1. The one that I'm playing 2 of is a trap, and it's because there's a cute. It's not really cute. This is what you should be doing which is and this is why I waited for you guys to see the trap. When you go Acropolis, you go Graph Layer, right? You go Alteration, set, activate Alteration. You're gonna search the trap card, and the reason why this is good is because you always want the trap card in the graveyard, because for some fucking reason the good trap card effect, the good effect of this trap card is in the graveyard. So you're gonna, I guess that they did it in purpose, because that's the point. You want to sell spell traps. So you send Pact into the graveyard, so you can search your second Artmage monster. You do not want to search Latera in this way, because you don't want to pick up the trap. You want to leave it in the graveyard. You always get Finmill, and Finmill will draw you a card, right? By the way, media should be here of the fusion, because unless you open this alone, you're gonna have to hard search Power Patron and summon him before the Finmill, for example, because the Power Patron just gives you another trap, so you're gonna normal summon this fusion out, right? At that point, you're gonna have to search Latera in that line. I guess you should actually know that. That's very important. If you do open field spell card and you have to actually search these out, you gotta get your Power Patron second so you can go into your fusion. I'm not gonna go, pop the fusion now, because we'll talk about it later. Fuck it, let's do it right now. Do it live, boys. You get the Decators, bro. You get the Actors. The other guys in the Artmage group are just gonna call it that. You get the Actors out, and you get another spell search, which is gonna be the Artmage Vandalism, and then you activate the Vandalism. And you can get Medius, and the field spell card has a cute effect where you can extra normal summon Medius, so you go Medius, right, and you can get your second. This is why you need 3 copies of Power Patron, by the way, and then you have like the full negate here. Otherwise, you could have just not searched this. Searched you like maybe you want to keep the quick spell card in your deck, but you could just pitch this alteration to get the Latera on the line running. Or if you do have another spell to pitch, you get the Finmill, so you can get both of them. But you usually want the Latera, so in your opponent's turn, you can revive back the Power Patron. Right, there you go. And you have the 2 monsters from the negate. Of course, this is just I'm drawing the field spell card. But we do have a way. We have lots of ways to just fully resolving all the monsters, searches, and the Azamina stuff helps with that a lot. So yeah, that's all the Artmage stuff, and we're gonna go for the Azamina stuff now, which is something we were doing in Snake Eyes, which is 3 Diabolical the Warwick Witch. The reason that I run 3 copies of this is because you do stuff like going the continuous spell card and going Medius. I'll show you the 2-card combo at the end of the video. You can essentially pay for Diabolstar's cost for the pitch, and Medius is in your hand now, so you can pay the Deception's cost with Medius without interacting with Diabellstar Black Witch. So you essentially are going to end up in a Cross Sheep, plus the Azamina, and another card in hand, and wanted to draw you a card. This is without touching the Artmage monsters, right? So that's really cool. And one of the cool things about this engine is it searches you an endboard piece without it conflicting too much with the field spell card. And that's one of the craziest things. And I want to give you a small spoiler, but one of the things what you have to consider a lot when playing this engine is that the Artmage monsters themselves flood the entire field, and you want those monsters absolutely, because the Artmage monsters themselves have like small floodgate effects, which are kind of cute. So you have Latera, Garfield, and Finmo. And these are all the Taurus, so these are always going to be in your endboard piece. So whatever you mix this deck with has to have like an endboard impact of only 2 monsters at tops, right? Diabellstar is really good at that, because the Ilya Sylvie you sack is always going to open a monster space if you want a fusion summon, right? And that's fucking good. And again, you want to always leave these here, because the Fin will protect from targeting from on all your Artmage monsters, which is really good when you're giving the turn to your opponent, so they can't interact these without targeting. Glyphlare can't be destroyed by battle, which I know these are added text on the cards, but how their negates work is very fucking important. And I guess the least important one is the Terra's one is that you don't take any battle damage involving this card. But you know how in 2025 Yu-Gi-Oh, some people find a way to OTK you when they're punching into the small monsters. So I guess in this particular case, Latera not being like the fucking pink Herald girl with fucking 1800 attack, she's not actually meant to beat over shit. Her being put into the defense isn't a detriment, which is still an extra text on the card. But I'm just saying, leaving them to 3 on the board is one of the craziest things you can do, so you can keep those floodgated effects in. They're not really floodgates effects, but you can, them being on the field is always mandatory basically in the deck. So again, 3 Diabell Star along with 3 Wanted, 1 Deception, 1 Hollowed, 1 Debtors, and 1 Morgan. One of the craziest things when playing this engine is that you're going to see that these cards are always resolving, and even the bricks aren't mid, because discarding Debtors and Morgan for the field spot cards is actually good, because you have an in-engine way to summon Ilya Silva. So when this is in the graveyard and you hard summon Ilya Silva on your opponent's turn, and when they give you the cloud back, you can remove this to a special summon Ilya Silva, and this is just a Pokemon if you control an illusion monster. And for your surprise, Nerva is a level, I don't even know what level this is, level 10 illusion monster. So if you hard summon, not hard summon, but you can fusion summon Nerva on your turn, and there's ways to do that. You have to be a little more experienced with the deck, so you can summon Nerva first, and then summon the DXRs on your opponent's turn. It's a little bit advanced, but you can do that. If you draw this alone, you can reset it. But otherwise, this card is just always resetting itself if this card's resolved, right? And again, if your Black Witch resolves with Wanted in the graveyard, that means your Medius line is always resolving. So it's really good. It's a side engine that doesn't play neutral. That is really good too. And I'll show you the combo along the way. But again, you're playing an engine that has a lot of spell traps that you can just discard, and they are not a detriment to your play, which is really good. Oh, something really cute too. Black Witch and Latera make Chaos Angels with both effects. So that's something really cool, because Black Witch doesn't actually do that in a lot of other decks. So yeah. And then for non-engine, by the way, this deck is 50 cards, and I literally use the same reasoning as Branded, where you wanted to draw a combination of all the engines in your starting hand. So it's literally like a math game. So we're running 3 Ash, 3 Foils, 2 Perulia, 1 Nibiru. So a lot of people are just not respecting the Mulch armies for some godforsaken reason, and sometimes it works, especially against Moonlight. So we just have to put some respect out the door, like respect in the deck, so they actually are incentivized to not Nibiru or not get Nibiru, or not play into the Mulch armies. So you draw like 50 cards. And 3 Ash, and I want to talk about this card last, because I think this is almost like a one mandatory card of the deck, especially since this deck has, it literally gets cooked by Droll if you don't draw the right cards. So I'm running Gamma, and this is the thing this deck does, is you can summon this Cypher in your deck, and let's say you keep this Gamma in your hand. If you draw both, for example, or if you draw this, you can shuffle this to special summon the Medius, and if at some point they break apart your board and don't leave a monster, you can actually Gamma them, and it's a thing that no other deck has. Like, shuffle this back as consistently as this deck. And again, at any point you get Drolled, because Droll has a thing where sometimes you're not incentivized to get Drolled or you can't get Drolled because your main searcher is a monster. Let's say even for Ryziel, they can't actually run this card even at 1. Most of the searchers just go into monster, but your main searchers are spell cards, right? So Wanted and even Deception, you can if you know you're going to play into Droll and you have this in your hand, you can actively pitch your own witch from the field as cost, and you can resolve Gamma when they try to Droll you. So this card is like insanely good. And I've been adding it to every single one of my decks, especially since they're psychics and you don't have psychics in your deck. So this helps you play into the DX Taurus line, or it helps you fulfill the negate way faster, the negate requirement. So yeah, the only thing is that you're not running. You could go cross sheep, which I do run, but you don't have like more. Maybe cross sheep is a consistent way of linking these up actually. So maybe it's not as much as a detriment as I thought now thinking about it. Because usually Gamma sits there if you activate it when you're first, right? And for side engine, I run talents, designator, and call by the grave. And people just run this alone, this card alone, because this card's broken. But some people just stray away from running these cards because it's not necessary. It's not necessarily almost by obligation that you're going to get a hand trapped during your Mayphase, because people just shucking Molcharmies. They don't give a fuck. They just don't want to play into talents. It is like the best way is like you double Molcharmie your opponent, and you can't even resolve talents against them. But these cards, you can pitch them off the field spell card, so it never matters, right? So that's why they're really good. I just play them main deck. It does not matter. And then Tree Droplet, because again, you have so much fodder in this deck. Is again the even the wanted line, because you keep deception, not keep deception, but you do get like a lot of card advantage. You get vandalism, you get the field spell card. So the droplet just ends up resolving it being like a really good board breaker. And these are similar things that Branded used to do, which is again, I guess that's why a lot of people just compare this deck to Branded. But yeah, that's the 50th or 50 cards. You can actually cut it a lot to 40, but by cutting a lot of the hand traps, I just decided to keep it at 50. So because in practicing, I've noticed that if you cut a lot of the hand traps and even cut the Bellstar cards, you just don't see them in combination a lot. You end up seeing a lot of the Artmage stuff, which is I guess what Branded used to do, because you don't want to draw a lot of Alibers, a lot of Albaz. You want to draw like pick, or you want to like basically build a hand, and 50 cards help you do it. It's like a numbers game. 50 cards just helps you do that in these types of decks. And for the extra deck, I'm running one Almirage. I'm running Almirage. Baby hand traps don't exist. But Medius, if it gets baby hand trap, you can go Salmon Great, revive Medius, and go from there. And that's only a good play if you go second. And I've noticed this. The better you can help build your board when going second, if your TX tourist can resolve when you summon it, the better. And this helps like a shit ton. And it's fuel for access code that I'm actually running. So on Armirage, SP, Dark, Cross Sheep, which is the main and board piece on the Azamina engine, Selene, and access code. The reason I ran this line is not only is it good for OTKing your opponent, which this deck kind of struggles, because it doesn't have like, it does have giant monsters, and I guess Nerva clears the field, but it's not as easy as other decks does it. And this line just helps you play against Luna like better. Like I've been loving this engine. Dark is like a really good card. Cross Shape is like a really good card. Selene is a really good card because it revives the Terra too, and that's really cute. Because I only want one of the quick play cards, so Selene is like a way to recover all your Artmage monsters back. And you can also go access code too. Like you don't actually have to revive a random spellcaster. You revive like an actual good spellcaster that could help you pick up on the board. And then for the Azamina monster, one Ilya Silva, one of the pop, and one Murcielago. And this is a cool thing, but you don't end up doing it as much as you think, because obviously when you're playing first and your opponent is going to try to FTK you, the only way you can do it is if you draw both the Diabell starting line and have enough gas. This is like interrupted. You have enough gas to get the quick play fusion spell. You can Ilya Silva, right? Cross Sheep, Ilya Silva, do the line. I'll show you guys in a second. And then on your opponent's turn, when you usually have the ability to special summon the Ilya Silva with your own Artmage and then the quick play, instead of doing this, you do this, and then you can go into the Diabell starting line again. And this card actually can't die because then you just go full combo again. So, and this is a pop, which is really good. It's cards you can special summon out of Azamina engine, which your opponent actually has to respect, right? And then we play 1 Secretariat. This card's crazy, and especially since just the sensor is like on the corner, you have to run this card. And by the way, this is one of the cards that helps you recover your engine. So if you're that scared of your quick play not recurring back your engine pieces into the deck, you can just summon this, and yeah, you can just shuffle back the art, the Graffler, or whichever way you want to do it, and then special summon the Rotera. And then 1 Chimera for the play, a quick play spell, and 2 tag Taurus. You don't need more than 2 if you're special summoning 3. It's like it's the same reason as the quick play spell card. 1 Nerva. Never been in a situation where you can summon 2, but by the time this resolves, your opponent or you are dead. So this card's really good. The reason being is because you don't need Poly to summon this, right? And that's cute because sometimes you go Power Patron. You don't activate this effect. You just hard summon this, so you can later on use the Power Patron to special summon the Taurus. And 1 Chaos Angel, like I said, summoning this Chaos Angel is better in this deck because the Terra and Black Witch just go into this. And I brought you guys the side deck that I used in locals, and I went 3-2, and my locals is sweaty as hell, so I was never gonna win 5 games in a row. Even at locals, 5 games, that's a lot. Or 5 rounds is a lot. And my losses were to Orcas and Orcas Mitsurugi. But I still like how I didn't lose both games. Like, so still it gives that merit. It's not like I got full blown out. Pause. So yeah, I played 3 talents. 3 thrusts, sorry. And then for the thrust targets, I played 1 Dimension Nourishing Ground, 1 Barrier, and 1 Sanctum. And I played 1 Dragon's Divine. I only played 1 copy of this, but because I didn't want to play like Solemn Judgment. Right? I wanted a better card to go first. Maybe you could play more copies of this, maybe 2, so you could pitch this off the field card and reset it. And you're running the Diabolic Strongline, so it's like a card you can play to go first when you take all the Charmies. But I was always playing this because if they move Charming me, I could just do that. Your opponent's not gonna let you full combo with 2025, bro. Like that is so unreal. But different dimension ground is good, even though you don't want your shit getting banished. Your shit is supposed to stay on the board or the important stuff. And then this is just really good against Memento and Orcus Mitsurugi. So it's like a blowout card against them because Barrier is not enough. Maybe Sanctus really good against Orcus, but if they have it with Mitsurugi, the Mitsurugi engine goes off. This hits both, and then Dragon's Mind, and then 1. What the hell is this called? Subversion. Because you can just get it out the side of the engine and it breaks apart. Bagushka, 1 Harpies for back row, and then I played 3 Chaos Angel and 3 Lancia. This card is not as good, but Lunar Light is kind of straightful, and these cards just hit a lot of attacks basically. So you hit Malice, Orcus, and because I do have a lot of Orcus in my locals. Chaos Hunter just stops like Lunar Light, Orcus, and Malice, and then Lance is just a really good card. Like I do have a lot of main deck good hand traps, so basically I'm just siding into thrust and talents every single game when I go first. When I go second, I just keep my hand traps and maybe go thrust into Harpies or Subversion when I go second. So that's my side deck, which I do like. I want to show you like a little cute card that I was running. I'm just gonna put it here, which is Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. Because when you use the Azamina engine to go second, instead of going Morgan, I searched the quick play pile card. This one, because this fusion summons when you control Illusion Fiend or Spellcaster, which, yeah, your deck runs 2 of those types, and it just helps you pick up our boards because you can just Chimera on your opponent's turn, and that's a really good line because most people aren't going to interact. How do I say it? With both engines correctly. So if you have a way to get into this before playing your art-based stuff, you can go into Chimera really easy. I just took it off because realistically, you could always get, unless you have like a really packed a really packed Sinful Azamina hand, you're not never searching this. But it's still good when going second. It's just not as viable as enough for you to play it. And I'm playing 50 cards. I'm playing 51 cards. That's kind of cringe. But yeah, guys, that is the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I give you the deck profile first because I'm just gonna rant and talk shit for the people who just wanted the deck list. There you go. There you have it. Oh, let me show you the combo, by the way, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know this combo. And this is good because this combo shows you a lot of what you should be doing with this deck. So I'm just gonna go Diabell Star and go the continuous spell card. What the cool thing about this is this could be any combination of cards, but I'm just gonna show you like this, so you know what you're working with when you're playing these two engines together. So I'm gonna go Assault here, search Medius. Right, so you have Medius and Diabell Star in your hand, so you're gonna special summon the Black Witch with pitching this, which will set Deception, and you can activate Deception by pitching the Medius, which is cool. And then this will search Hollowed, and Hollowed will be activated by setting Deception, and you can get your Azamina search here. Awesome, right? And then you can search here. And this is something really cool. You can search debtors here. If you if you have like super gas hand, and this Deception will set itself. But I guess let's do it the way you're supposed to do it, because you want to keep a monster card in your hand, and Wanted facilitates that. So I'm just gonna do the full line here so you guys can see. I'm gonna search Wanted, and we're gonna do the thing where you go Deception, or not Deception, you go Wanted plus Hollowed. So we're gonna go Cross Sheep here. Yeah, we're gonna go Cross Sheep here, right? And we're gonna grab Hollowed back by shuffling this, right? And we're going to go Hollowed Chain Wanted. We're gonna get a Diabell Star from our deck because that's good Yu-Gi-Ohs, right? And then we're gonna summon the Omni Negate. So you don't have to go into the strain, right? We're not gonna trigger Cross Shape, but because you actually can if you want to. Let's just do it for the fact that this goes absolutely crazy, because you don't even have to do the Medius special summoning effect. I just liked keeping the Power Patron in the end board, but let's say for a fact that you just want to revive your Cross Sheep, two of the Cross Sheep, so you can play into more interruptions, I guess. But you do have this protecting you, so it doesn't really matter. The reason I say this is because if you go Power Patron here and you fusion summon into the Icturus, you already have the 3 attributes needed. But if you kept the Medius and just shuffled back the Diabell Star, you could have kept that to leave the Power Patron on your field, and you're already not ending up with more. You're not linking off. You're not doing anything else. So this lock does absolutely not matter at all. And this gives you access to the field spell card. Here we go, because the Power Patron is gonna search. And there you go. You have the full combo. The reason I say this is because you can search the field spell card, or if you do not have anything else, you can go Trap or Quick Play. So you can go into Chimera. But because the Trap card, if you guys don't know, special summons any of the Artmage monsters, so you can go Finmill with the Trap, and then you have basically 3 interruptions. Because the Finmills, you don't use special summon here, it doesn't matter. You go, if you're not doing anything else, you can go Trap card, special summon Finmill for the deck. And then Cross Sheep activates Power Patron here. And yeah, that's full combo. So this Power Patron essentially is going to fill the void, so you can summon Nerva on your opponent's turn too. But if you do have another additional spell, which is the cool thing about this, is that you can just banish Wanted for 1 extra card here before anything. Set your Deception back, you draw an extra card. Let's say you draw a spell. Say you draw a spell, you can search this field spell card instead, because you can do this before the Medius line. Before you go into the media line completely, you draw your wanted card first. If you draw a field spell card, you can just go full ham here, which is what you're gonna do. So you can look at the full end board here. So we go Glad Flare and do the thing I said earlier in the video, where you go alteration, search a trap card, pitch the trap card. And go Finmo here. Draw you another card. I always do this, even if my hand is blank, because there's a good probability you'll just end up drawing a spell card. So it doesn't matter. And you always have your Ilya Silva here, so Finmo is always the best choice anyways. So we're gonna go Finmo. Where the hell is she is. And again, during any part of this line, you can just summon the power pigeon. And there you go. That's a full board. Yeah, and then if you didn't end up shuffling the wanted for the extra card, you still get Deception, right? So yeah, that's good. And you do have the trap. So this is 1, 2. Well, this ends up being the Nerva pop with the Artmage. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Nerva interaction. It's like 5 interactions and 2 Omni negates, which is really good in this format. Because if you stop cards like Ritual, how do I say, like, stop, dude, going Diatoris having negate plus pop, obviously all Omni negates have that, but that's so important in this format, because if your opponent goes first, like Orca's Gemini, not Gemini, fuck, I forgot the name. If he goes the good Orca's card, you can negate its effect and pop it, so you don't have to worry about that card at all. And that card literally, that deck literally operates on that normal summon. So if they try to play with the Mutsurugi engine, you can just Ilya Silva the fusion card. Yeah. So that's the end board, guys. Hopefully that gives you enough insight on how most of the combos should be played. And I'm gonna go right here and talk to you about the deck list and such. That's my deck list. Hopefully I'll tweak it more in between the days, but thank you for watching this part of the video. If you watch this far, by the way, guys, remember this, should have said this at the beginning, but remember to like the video and subscribe if you come this far. So let's go fucking hear me rant and talk shit, and it's a little book basically. Let's go. Okay, guys, so welcome back. This is essentially my little deck list, which I showed you. Maybe if anything, there's one card apart, but I just want to talk to you. You already saw the Azamina Artmage version of this deck. This build I absolutely love, especially when I see it like right here on paper. Dude, how do I say? Apart from all the other things I said, I think this is the deck that has the most ceiling. Maybe the Fiendsmith engine, and I'm gonna show you the Fiendsmith deck right here in a second. But maybe the Fiendsmith engine has some interactions that this one doesn't have. But one of the most important things here is that Deception ends up being fuel for your Artmage shit, and the Fiendsmith stuff does not act upon that. But still, the Fiendsmith engine, or the mix between Fiendsmith and the Artmage stuff, is still pretty cool. I'm going to show you right here, right now. One of the craziest things this deck could do is run Theo Realize, and that to me is crazy. And for the first days, I didn't see any people running this. Oh, by the way, that's the secret sauce. I run Instant Fusion, and Melania's Eyes restricted this one. It's because I think this one has a little bit of more extra deck space. Ironic, because it has Fiendsmith. But I am running this card just so you can play even better against Droll. Because something the Fiendsmith engine does is that you have ways to literally die to Droll, by the way. Like, full send. It's not like they have Bellstar cards where you can just play with the... You can't play with the Azamina stuff. You can't play with the Bellstar, or sorry, you can't play with the Artmage stuff and then that. Maybe not completely, but you really cannot play with the Fiendsmith stuff for second and the Artmage stuff first, because the field spell cards just ends up locking you completely. I do not why they did this extra like hard to lock. You can not special summon for the rest of this turn except Archmage monsters or immediately appear from the extra deck. that's like a really bad detriment. But the Azamina engine can do that because we run deaders, so you can always go Diabell Star, Deception, and then go deaders into the Omni Gate or the pop. The Fiendsmith stuff can't do that. You can't go full Fiendsmith combo after the Artmage stuff. So you absolutely have to run like a heavy Fiendsmith engine, and Theo Realize does help with that. But the Theo Realize line is kind of, I'm not saying it's mid, but you end up going just yeah, let's say you summon a hand trap, right? You summon Ash, switch it into feed, you go Requiem into Lacrima and jump Engraver, or jump the trap. I'd rather just dump the trap here. Because if you do end up going sequence, you can't actually do anything in the sequence, and if you do, you can't go Necro Equip because you shuffled back the sequence to special summon the Engraver. So basically, this line is basically just to make Chaos Angel or to send the trap, which is what you end up doing. Because the cute thing about that play is that if you do end up normal summoning a hand trap, the Medius is in the graveyard, and only this, only the Fiend stuff or only Theo Realize can do this, because you have an assured way to put Medius in the graveyard. So if you special summon him back while doing that play, you have Lacrima, Medius, and Power Patron in the field, and this is the Fiendsmith version does this better than the other one. You don't activate the Fiends or the Power Princess effect to special summon. You just hard summon Nerva in this build, and when you do that, you get the field spell card. So you basically have Nerva, field spell card, and Paradise active in your graveyard, plus Lacrima revive, so you have Fiendsmith stuff in your clapback before you do your Artmage monsters. So it's kind of cool that you can do the Fiendsmith mix with this, especially since they're all like, that doesn't really matter unless you want to play. You can't even play dude, you can't even play. If you could play with Fiendsmith and the Artmage monster, if you could play Dominus, I'm forgetting the name. If you could play the Dominus Trap because you're running just like in your deck, then maybe I could tell you, okay, the card, this engine has a little bit more oomph to it. But you can't even do that because Medius is like one of the Medius is like in your main line in this deck, because you can't even do that. But basically the same thing. Tree Power Patron. You just want to as consistently as possible go into the Artmage stuff. But yeah, see, I'm only playing 2 Vandalism because it's not a good. I'm playing 2 Succession because in this build you end up going more into the Artmage stuff. You're not as reliable going into the Azamina engine. So summoning Ilias Silva, for example. So hard drawing the Succession is actually really good. But yes, basically the same thing. It's 46 cards, so I don't fucking draw breaks. And this is, guys, a lot of people are saying the pure version of this deck is mid. Bro, there is no way. Pretty sure this is one of the best versions because how resilient it is to hand traps, especially with it's not quote unquote pure because I do run Alistair, and the only reason I run Alistair is because otherwise you're gonna struggle in a lot of matches. But Alistair fixes that because you can spit on an Omni Negate quick, right, before anything, and you have Purgatory against Lunalight, which is really important, and that's a very good way, or how do I say, this deck quite struggles a bit with Lunalight, so having Purgatory here in the extra deck plus Alistair, because Alistair just straight up gives you the attack boost to kill the Lunalight. But going Purgatory will absolutely decimate the Lunalight board. All you do have to do is deal with Bagushka, but it's kind of easy to do because you do run things like Awakening to pop the Bagushka. The problem is the Lunalight. So yeah, this deck is really good at that, and Kalika is a really crazy card in 2025 Yu-Gi-Oh! So having the ability to go into the extra deck is really good, and you can still play the Axis Core line. I like this deck a lot, by the way. I like this, how do I say, this version of the deck a lot. Plays 3 Grappler too, because like I said, it's a card that helps you play against Drool, and it just fulfills the full Artmage board even quicker, right? Even though this card is quote unquote dead, you draw multiples of it, you can still like try to revive Medius as another end board under your opponent's turn, so you can go into Nerva easier, I guess. So you don't have to like fuse with your Finmail or your Laterra so you like layer your interruptions better. But yeah, I like this build too a lot. And searching a spell card. Any engine that searches a spell card is what should you be prioritizing in this deck, because at the very least, at the minimum, your side engine searches to a spell card so you can easily resolve your triple your 5A. So yeah, I like this build even more than the Fiendsmith one. I'm not gonna lie. Like Alistair is crazy good. You can do multiple fuel spell cards. That's fine. I just don't like doing it because it plays more into draw when this deck already loses to draw. I'd rather just hard summon Alistair, at least get Invocation, and at least have something to play there. Because I'm playing 3 Graffle, 3 Field. I can at least have the chance of going draw Alistair, draw Graffle, or draw Field Spell card, and I can at least do some sort of full combo there. Shit, I'll show you the shots in another video. But this is essentially the 3 decks that, in my opinion, have the highest ceiling, which is Pure, Fiendsmith, and the Azamina engine. And I think a lot of people are gonna agree with that. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna cut the video here, cause even though as much as you guys like my insight, which I know you do, I want to keep it short and sweet, because I know for a fact the Medius, or not the Medius, the Artmage cards are going to have more support in the future. I'm gonna cut my arms or legs saying like, oh, this card is mid and this card is not. I love the Artmage engine in its entirety, because it's a deck that has like a play, or has how do I say, it has a line of play that is like a no other. Like having a field spell card that is essentially is like the main. Bro, this card is literally Blind Fusion. There's no other way to put it. But the way it does it is really particular. This is what I love about it. Playing new decks like this that have like some that are decent, like you could go to locals and kick some ass, but still have like a very attractive niche to it. Just really good. But anyways, guys, if you're gone this far, thank you for watching the whole video. And it's good that you have the deck list here, because I know a lot of people just want to have the deck list here in the link bucket, just copy paste and try it out. But there you go. Again, please like the video, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate. Along the Justice Hunters, if I mix the deck with K9, who knows, I'll keep you guys updated, which I know that's what OCD has been doing. If they mix this deck with anything, they have just been mixing Pure Artmage with K9. But K9, dude, that shit goes on everything. That should be the slogan for that deck, for that engine from now on. But we have a few tough weeks ahead, especially since they announced that the ban list isn't coming until after Worlds. So yeah, you just gotta, our mage boys have to stay and cook a little bit, and have to deal with the fucking chaos of what is Yu-Gi-Oh! Not today. But again, guys, thank you for watching the video. Love you guys. Stay tuned for the next one.